Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Day number 541, August the 18th, 2023. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do, all the support. Tonight, going to be a very, very special update. Going to be very interesting and unique, I promise you, because tonight I'm going to show you guys probably about 20 different video clips that Zhenya has sent to me today. As you can tell, the title of the program is Aid Drops on the Ukrainian Front Lines, live update and analysis. And tonight, you're going to see what has unfolded in the last 24 hours. I will be able to share with you the video. Everything is clear. Everything's good to go. The soldiers that you will see, that's all approved and available to see. You're going to see locations, and it's all our own video. So that's where we're going to be tonight. I do have the regular news updates. Some of those are interesting, and then we're going to get into it because I have so many videos to show. They're not long, just little clips here and there, but you're going to be able to see what is happening. So thank you guys. You're going to see real Ukraine tonight over the next few minutes. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, turning on the notification bell so that you can see everything that we update. I also can tell you tonight, we've got a couple of interviews coming. Got a couple of interviews coming that are going to be off the hook. That would be the wrong one to send there. We know my name. Hold it. Larry and Debbie, thank you for being here. Let me fix that right quick. Overlay 4. That's cool. Send. Why is that on 4? I don't know. That's what happens when you're live. That got off. Well, I can talk to you. Why are they not going right? Anyway, Larry and Debbie, Rick Berry, Linda Cassio, Lynn Fireball, Jeff Burnett, thank you guys. Skeghead, Australia, Ricochet, Paul Kiss, thank you, brother. Carl Elwell from Vegas. I've got him down. Good evening from Vegas. Skeggs, talking to Ricochet. That's cool. Nathan Fody, our vet out there in Vacaville, California. Welcome to you, brother. Thanks, Don Giannolini. Tonight, you're going to see it. You're going to see reality. But before we do that, let's get in here and talk about what's happening right now. I do have a little bit of interesting news that has just unfolded in the last 10 or 15 minutes. If I go here, you can see the air raid that are live right now, 4:04 a.m. in Ukraine, 9:04 p.m. here on the East Coast in the United States. I can also tell you that there were just explosions within the last 15 minutes in Khmelnytsky. It's not confirmed if it's air defense, but from what I'm seeing, if it is air defense, something will still hit. So within the last 15 minutes, Khmelnytsky has been hit by Shahid's drones. They are also circling around over Zhytomyr and Kyiv right now. And a new batch just came in from up here in the north towards Rivne. Today, I figured out how to add a yellow circle around my mouse so you can see it better. So coming in right here, there's a new batch coming in. So where are they coming from? Belarus. So that's what we have there. That's what's happening right now. I can also tell you, if we jump over here to the interactive map, you can see here for yourselves, this Kupiansk area right here on this Kupiansk region. If I zoom in, you get to the city of Kupiansk. You can see the gold line coming closer. There's a really good push coming up here. And I can tell you that people are being evacuated by the bus loads from some of these frontline small towns. And we'll see what happens, but good push coming there from Russia, unfortunately. I can also tell you that down here in, that's Seversk, down here in the Bakhmut region, which is right here, Ukraine's still holding on to theirs, but we're getting a little push out of the city further toward, if you see, we're getting closer to Ivanivsky. Yes, Ukraine has a high ground here, and this is a basin. But then it goes into some hilly regions here. You can actually see on this a little bit of topography. Ivanivsky sits down here in a little basin. But today, Russia has reported that they are rotating some more troops in to reinforce Bakhmut. So we'll see what happens there. I can also tell you that Ukraine came out today. If we come down south, and we're going to be looking a lot at the map tonight because I'm going to show you exactly where Zhenya and our guys have been, and you're going to see what has been dropped. This city here, Melitopol, of course, you've heard about that. We talk about it quite regularly. Ukraine came out today and said, there's no way, here's reality. We will not liberate Melitopol in 2023. The war's going into 2024. It's not going to be possible unless Russia just leaves. And it doesn't look like that is going to happen. So they came out today, a couple of things in regard to that. The Verkhovna Rada came out today, Verkhovna Rada, which is basically their government legislative branch, came out today and submitted a resolution for approval. And this is the resolution. It says, ending the war unleashed by the Russian Federation against Ukraine through any territorial concessions to the aggressor state is unacceptable. And then the deputies are going to vote on this. So once they vote on it, it's not going to be Vladimir Zelensky saying we're not giving up any of our territory. It's not Podolyak or Kaleba or Zaluzhny. It will be officially the Ukrainian position that will be logged legally. They're not going to give up their land. You guys know over the last week, NATO had their little talks. The spokesman there for the NATO chief, and then he came out and apologized, said, I didn't mean to say it that way. Regardless, you said it, buddy. Apology accepted, but too late. Cat's out of the hat. Cat's out of the hat. Cat's out of the bag. And the bag was in the hat. There you go. That's number one. Number two, all regular, irregular armed formations of the aggressor state, which is Russia, must be completely withdrawn from the entire territory of Ukraine. And yes, that does include Crimea. Thirdly, the Black Sea Fleet must be withdrawn from the territory of Crimea, which is interesting because that would be their naval ports that they have a 25, well, now it'd probably be about 15 more years, 17 more years agreement with the nation of Ukraine that Russia can have a naval base in Crimea. We'll see what happens there. Fourthly, citizens of the Russian Federation who arrived on the peninsula, Crimea, during the period of occupation, temporary occupation, will be expelled. These are the four things that Russia is going to be voting on. And I can tell you as well today, Volodymyr Zelensky signed into law that the martial law is extended officially. We told you this about a month ago, but now he signed it today through November 15th. Additionally, they're putting out information and basically telling Ukrainian men, get over your fear. If you're between 18 and 60, unless it's extraordinary circumstances or supporting Ukraine in the war, you can't leave the country, and you need to get over your fear and be prepared. We're going to have to defend our nation. So that's where we're at right there. Now, I believe personally that coming out of the summer, going into the fall and the winter, the war is actually going to escalate. If you look back here at the map right here, you see all of this fortification above Melitopol, below Zaporizhia, and you can see where Ukraine is making some of their best pushes, where they're even breaking through some first lines here. The 82nd Brigade, not the 82nd Airborne, the 82nd Brigade has just been released, and they are coming to this location right here. They're coming below the Orikov, and it's not, I'm telling you, they just make it public. We're sending the 82nd down there. They've been resting and they're prepared, and it's the next wave of our counteroffensive. You may ask, Well, how much is that going to bring to the table for Ukraine? Well, the 82nd Brigade is 2,000 soldiers. They have mortars, they have strikers, they're armored personnel carriers, BMPs, as well as Challenger 2 tanks. And they are entering into the Melitopol direction, but pretty much where I just showed you. Cat in the hat, cat out of the bag. Thank you. I've got to fix that. Mark McLaren, nice to see China can get their grain out of Ukraine without issue. That can't sit well with others. Of course not. In fact, we're going to talk about China in just a moment. So, Ukraine cranking up their offensive as well. Russia. This is Colonel General in the Kremlin. His name is Andriy Kratopolov. You say, well, that's a new name. Folks, they've got enough generals to float a battleship. There's a lot of people in this army. So this guy is a strategic planner for the next offensive that Russia is going to unleash. I can tell you right now, and this is from Ukrainian guys, there are a lot of Russian soldiers on Ukrainian territory, and they keep coming. So they may not be well trained. They may not be well equipped. You can call them cannon fodder, but there's something to volume. There's something to numbers, and it's just math. And I'm telling you right now, this guy here, Karatopolov, came out today, gave his report. Fall, winter, Russian offensive, they're preparing for it. Now, of course, they're going to put that out. They could come tomorrow. They could come next June. They could leave the country. But this is the information that is being put out. So most likely we're going to see an escalation. Now, Mark McLaren, you were talking about Chinese drones. Let me tell you about Chinese drone. No, you were talking about Chinese grain. Let me tell you about Chinese drones right here. China presented. Now you tell me how this works, guys. You tell me how this works. How ignorant are people in the world? And I mean that kindly, but China presents its new kamikaze drone Sunflower 200s. There's news going out right now that this is a Russian drone. It's not a Russian drone. Russia is making Shaheeds or Shaheeds, the Shaheeds, at their plant in Russia. Second one soon to open in Belarus. They're making drones, but they're Iranian. China presented at the Army Expo 2023 in Russia the new Sunflower drone, which is a copy of the Shaheed, although there are some differences. The noticeable differences are it's lighter. It only weighs 175 kilograms versus the Shaheed that weighs 240 kilograms. It also carries a 40 kilogram warhead, but due to the weight, this drone can fly different patterns, and that's the problem. These drones come in slow. For example, if I read the spec sheet there, this drone can carry a 40 kilogram warhead. That's the bottom left I'm reading for you. It can travel a distance of 2,000 kilometers. The speed is between 160 and 220 kilometers per hour. It can operate for 12 hours. Think about that. 12 hours. You say, well, they fly around that long? Absolutely, they fly around that long. They're buzzing around right now over at Ukraine. Okay, let's go here now. When we started, it was 4:04 a.m. I was sharing with you the drones over Western Ukraine, and we do have an explosion in Khmelnytsky. Now you can see in the regions in the east, you have MiGs in the air. You have the alarms for Shaheeds in Poltava and Kharkiv. You also have S-300/Iskander and cruise missile alarms. So these drones come in and they fly around very slow. So I'm telling you, I don't understand how these things can happen, that you can have these relationships and the world just ignores it. You know, it's okay. For example, Mark, you said China getting its grain out. Well, that's okay. And it's okay that China comes to Russia at their Army Expo and shows off their copy Shahed drones. I guess it's just okay. How can people say that the relationship between China and Russia is strained? Why would China come show their fake, real, their knockoff Shaheds that will be very real in the air with warheads on them, and nobody says anything, but it's okay. You know, it's okay. It just makes no sense. Well, it does. The Western world is afraid of Putin and Xi. That's the bottom line. Decide, you're spot on. U.S. citizens, including you and I, buy Chinese goods. Chinese ships goods to Russia to support their friend. U.S. sends money, military gear to Ukraine. Bulldog Balkan states buy Russian gas. That's correct. Remember what we've talked about from the beginning, follow the money. And those Bulldog Baltic states will be buying Russian fuel, electricity through early 2025. Now, I also can tell you, as we're expecting an escalation, Putin came out over the last 48 hours and has ordered that the Tupolev 95s, these guys carry, these are the huge bombers, kind of like, I guess they would be a knockoff of, or a similar to like what do we have, the B-52? I know you guys will get me if I'm wrong. So B-52 bombers, the big bombers. These are the guys that carry KH-22s, they carry KH-101s. They can be modified pretty much to carry anything. They're heavy bombers, long-range bombers. This is what it looks like. They're in service till 2040, and Putin today, over the last 48 hours, ordered Russia military to knock the dust off of some of the ones that are in storage and to make sure they're updated, loaded, and ready to be put into action. So that's what we've got going on there. You might say, well, I thought Russia, you know, they've got all their airplanes in the air. No, folks, they have thousands. It's just like the United States. They have thousands, and you can make fun of them or say, well, they can't even move the line on Ukraine, which it's great. Ukrainian soldiers are amazing, and the support from people like us in the West, absolutely amazing. But do not think that Russia's still not loaded with supplies, with planes, with people, with munitions. They are. And then we see relationships like this and more drones coming every day. And I can tell you, when the U.S. tells Iran, we're going to back down the sanctions if you'll stop supplying Russia, I got news for you. Ibrahim Raisi and Putin, they laugh at that stuff. They're going to do what they want to do. They've been doing what they want to do. And Iran's definitely not going to back down their relationship with Russia because they are getting nuclear technology from Russia. So why would they do anything to disrupt? Well, you say, well, they got upset at them the other week. That's nothing, folks. It's just a show. They're in deep relationship. Russia being supplied missiles and drones. Iran receiving nuclear technology. That's where we're at, because Iran eventually wants to come on into the Middle East and rip up Israel. That's just reality. So we'll see what happens. Now, folks, we're going to get into it now. This is not going to be as smooth. Not that all of our streams are smooth, but I have so much video from Zhenya. And I'm going to show it to you, everything I'm going to show you for the rest of the update tonight, and we'll keep an eye on the air raids. I'm going to show you where they've been, what they've been doing, and I say they. Right here, you see Zhenya, and to his right is Maxim, and to Maxim's right is Bogdan. Now listen. Make sure, if you're here and you haven't subscribed, and put a notification on, you need to do it. Or you're watching on some other platform, listen to me. We're getting ready to interview both of those guys. Their English is relatively solid. The guy on the right, his name is Bogdan. He is a decorated military veteran who's on his rotation out. Where does he fight? Has fought, will fight? Bakhmut. That is a Bakhmut veteran in the yellow shirt. He's going to tell us his story. To his left is Maxime. Who is Maxime? Maxime, these two guys just started working with us. And folks, you got to see this to believe it. But Maxime escaped from Berdyansk, completely under Russian occupation since the beginning of the war. He's going to tell you on this channel, this stream, what it was like to be under occupation as a young man, curfews, what the Russian military actually did. You're going to hear everything. We're going to start working on that tomorrow. Make sure you have subscribed and stuff, because you don't want to miss these two guys talking. I promise you. I was talking with them today, just a little while ago. So he's from Berdyansk. So there's going to be some incredible stuff coming out from these guys. So what is it really like on the Ukrainian front lines? What is it like? Where'd they go? What did they do? Okay. I told you it's not going to be so smooth. Zhenya and the guys left Khmelnytsky. If you look on the map here, they left, which is the black underline. It's our home base. It's where it was just hit by drones. They went to Kyiv. They delivered a van for a military guy from Khmelnytsky to Kyiv. In Kyiv, they had some meetings there with military guys, and then they traveled blue line all the way over to Kharkiv. There, they met with some of our other military guys. You say, well, what do you meet with all these military guys for? Folks, how do you think we get to the very front lines? You cannot go there. Yes, I've got all the documentation. I can go anywhere I want in Ukraine. I'm approved by the Ukrainian military. But you still have to have the fresh relationships. And the guys were in Kharkiv meeting with some Azov guys. Yes, Azov guys. And then Green Line. They rolled down to the Bakhmut area. They actually delivered some stuff to the hospital that's supporting, Bakhmut area, right here. Can't tell you exactly, but remember, Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, Druzhkova, Konstantinivka. Right in this area here, we have a big military hospital that is supporting all of the battles here in Bakhmut and coming out of Seversk. And we supply them. You supply them. You have seen interviews I've done with Dr. Sasha from inside. I've shown you the operating room. We've shown you everything. So they went there. From there, they left and went through Pokrovsk, Orange Line, through Pavlograd, all the way over to Dnipro, picked up some supplies, came Black Line down to Zaporizhia, ran over, supplied some supplies east of Zaporizhia, and then they came down to the front. And yeah, I can show you all this because they're gone. They came down out of Zaporizhia, down toward all these ugly triangles. We support guys right here. We support guys right here. We support guys here. And we support guys here in Veliki Novosilko. So this whole line. So they came out of Zaporizhia and they came down to here. Now, after that, they then rotated back up, go back over here, and they came down to Nikopol, and from Nikopol to Berislav, and from Berislav to Kherson. That's the route. If I come back here now, and I can zoom it in for you. Of course, you see Zaporizhia, the supplies here. Then they wrapped around to Nikopol, right here, which is right across from Zaporozhye nuclear power plant that gets shelled 24/7. Then they rotated down the river, which is now dry, came to Berislav, which is right here, All these are front lines, guys. And then crossed out and came down into Kherson. So that's what we've done. That's what you've done by being here and helping us and supporting. So we say thank you. Now, I'm going to show you some stuff. I've seen Ukraine was searching for ships with more sea drones and have made the Russians nervous that they have ordered the ships to stay on the move. Yes, sir. In fact, Zelensky came out and was very clear. We're doing pretty good in the Black Sea, which is a fact. So yes, Russia very much on the defensive. So what does it look like? What does it look like when we're running supplies? It looks different in the south versus the east. The east, very mountainous, hilly, lots of trees. The south looks like straight plains, Kansas. Well, the outback for you over there in Australia. So here's a picture Eugenia sent me. This is how we carry gear through the woods. This is what it looks like, folks. Here comes the Navara. Eugenia's going to give you a thumbs up. The back of that truck will be loaded. The guys hopped out, shot some video, trailer, and that's what it looks like. Now, yes, I know that we need a tank. I would like a really good tank. So if any of you guys out there want to donate us a tank, we will put it to good use. We need some kind of armored personnel carrier. So that's moving through. That's right. It's what it looks like. You say, well, that looks green and pretty. It's not green and pretty. Just the trail cutting through was green and pretty. Now, what is it like on the road? This is what it's like. And you hear Zhenya talking to Bogdan. Bogdan is driving. Zhenya's in the passenger seat, still recovering from his shoulder. And they're following military. This is them. This is the reality of how we travel. This is out. This is the east moving toward the south. So it's Bogdan, there's Maxime. See, this is just the conversation and travel, thousands of kilometers following military vehicles. It's exactly what we do. Now, you meet interesting folks when you're on the front dropping aid. So I'm going to show you now a video of a Scottish guy, Mark McLaren, Malcolm Bills, you UK guys, or anybody else here from the UK. Here's a Scot fighting front lines, Bakhmut area. Has his kilt, has his M4, has his grenades. Very little interesting thing. You meet all kind of interesting people. All kinds.
Real Scottish Braveheart.
That's the one, aye.
His call signs Braveheart.
Nova, combat killed.
Combat kill.
Show us please your weapon. What?
Show us your
what
weapon.
Do you take?
I take the
What
drop.
are you carrying?
Nice.
M4.
Let's drop.
Yeah.
There's a big bag of grenades.
Grenades.
These are his
How many
grenades.
grenades do you have here?
This time 4, but last time I took 9.
Yeah.
Travel light.
I travel light. Then the guy was translating it, what he said. I travel light. Okay, I'm going to tell you something right now. Anybody messes with that guy, you're in trouble. I cannot wait to get back to Ukraine and meet him. I cannot wait. Do you have any word about the U.S.-made F-16s in Denmark going to Ukraine? Integrity Television, welcome my friends. I love you guys. Yes, I do have updates on that. The F-16s have been approved to be rotated from Denmark to Ukraine. That does not mean they're coming. They're not coming anytime soon. The soonest that F-16s will be in Ukraine will be spring of 2024. But when they do come, if they come, when they do come, we'll hold that out. They're going to be rotated from Denmark. So that's the update on that. People laugh at kilts, but they are amazingly warm and cool at the same time. Yeah, there was some more about that where the guy was talking about it's the best thing to fight in. He has so many internal pockets, external pockets, keeps him cool. He can use it for other things. But I'm just going to tell you, I can't wait to get there and meet that dude. So that's Scott's there on the front. So you meet all kind of interesting people. They dropped aid at Kharkiv. Well, they met with Azov at Kharkiv, and they dropped aid, medical aid there in the Bakhmut area. And from there, and they rolled down to Zaporizhia, as I told you. So we'll show you Zaporizhia. This is all our video. They're coming into the city of Zaporizhia. You're going to see the sign right here. I'll stop it here. It says Zaporizhia. I'll back it up. Say Ukraina. Zaporizhia is all Ukraine. So this is coming into Zaporizhia. I've been by that sign there many times. Coming by a government house in the circle. That's Zaporizhia today. And then in Zaporizhia, let me explain to you how this happens. We travel to a city and we ship our goods there. We pick our goods up so we can make multiple runs, multiple cities. The only way we can do that is you guys are helping us. You're donating, you're giving, all of those things. You can see we're getting the stuff there. Zhenya went to the Novopochta in Zaporizhia and picked up our supplies.
From Zaporizhia. Getting loading, getting in the post needed stuff, and it will be delivered today to our guys.
So there, that's what we do. We're picking up aid. He's loading in Zaporizhia. And then I want to show you this, guys. Okay. Now, yeah, Mark McLaren, they keep moving the goalpost. I doubt we'll ever see an F-16 in Ukraine, but as of right now, spring 2024. All right. Now let's go here. I'm going to show you guys something. There is a place where Zhenya and I work. And I can show you this now. He's gone. Here's the city of Zaporizhia. So we come out of Zaporizhia and we come down the E105, this road here. We cross, we come on down right above Kamyanisky, which is the border, right on the front lines. There is a block post, and at that block post, there is a cafe. And I want to tell you about that cafe. It's at this big block post. Go back to big camera. And right beside the cafe, there are Molotov cocktails that have been there since day one of the war. When Russia was first trying to push in, the local citizens there were making the Molotov cocktails and ready to throw them and to defend their homeland. Those are still sitting there. And they leave them there as a marker, an encouragement to the soldiers who come by every day that Ukraine stands together. Right beside those Molotov cocktails, there is a little teeny cafe that this little lady runs. And the only people that eat there, because it's behind the security, is military or those that can get by like us. So Zhenya, down there, if you're wondering where that's at, it's down there. Here's the cafe.
Hello, Greg. You remember this place? The cafe. We did pick it up. And do you remember that?
There's the Molotovs.
Molotov. Just wanted to remind you that the next time we're coming back over here.
Oh yeah, we're going.
The same place, same cafe. And so we decided, made a decision to do it tonight, to repeat it. And here is Navarra, by the way. And here is our cafe, man. You remember the Slanka, the borscht?
One little lady.
Guys,
Nobody's there, of course, but it's just for the soldiers.
Hello.
There's our team. So now, when they went back up towards Zaporozhye before going to Nikopol, I'll show you this. They came across the bridge, crossing the Dnipro, where there's still a little bit of water left, into Zaporizhia. This is what it looks like. This is coming into Zaporizhia.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
And Zhenya was telling him, tell all the people hello. So there you have it. That's Bogdan, frontline soldier there in Bakhmut. We will be talking with him more. Now, that's Zaporizhia. Now, they left Zaporizhia and went to a place nobody can get to. It's Nikopol.
Hello
So
from
Zhenya,
Nikopol.
before we came into Nikopol, or they came in. It's the sign behind him. Another cut. Var and the guys, they roll in and they drop some aid there in Nikopol. You know, so many people, you get messages where people go, you don't have any, what are you doing? You're not Ukrainian. Well, I may not be Ukrainian, but I know Ukraine and I've worked half my life there. When I tell you we're in Nikopol, we're in Nikopol. When tonight, right this second, Zhenya and those two guys are sleeping in Kherson. And when he called me a few minutes ago before the stream, before he went to sleep, the building was rocking because of the incomings. We're there, right in the middle of it, and trying our best to help people. So that's Nikopol. Now, once you leave Nikopol, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Is interesting tonight because this is real work. Once you leave Nikopol, you come down. I'll go back to here. Once you leave Nikopol, you come out, you come down the river, you follow the river. It's dangerous, guys. It's shelling nonstop. And they actually came to Beterslav. Are you talking about a dangerous place? Right here. It's shelled just like Nikopol every day. There is a bridge that Zhenya and I cross. And it's right here. Okay? You can see this river, this tributary. This flows down into the Kakhovka Reservoir. All of this. Everything's dry, folks. Everything's dry. So I'm going to show you this now. So here is, let's see here. I've got it. Coming into Beterslav's right here. You can see it there. And this is just all you can film. You can't stand out there and film. It's not possible. It's not legal. I can film, but I've got all the documentation. But if I'm not there, it's my face on the documentation. And I can do that because of Integrity Television. So I have all my documentation through them. So thank you, Integrity Television. So that's coming out of Bereslav. Now, the bridge that we crossed, let me tell you this. So go back to here. This bridge coming out of Bereslav right here. When Zhenya and I were there the last time running out of here, and we actually had Fish with us, one of our friends who's a sniper in Ukrainian military, we're rolling and we had no alert, but the bridge had just been hit and it wasn't completely destroyed. Ukraine had put these little tracks across it and we stopped in the last second, jumped out. We ran across the bridge. Well, walked quickly and made sure it was safe, secure. We looked pitch black. We were middle of the night in a war zone and we decided to go across it. Well, we made it, of course. Here I am. And, but that bridge is the one you're going to see Zhenya now refer to. It's gone. They got it. The bridge right here. So he'll speak about it.
And you remember? This is the bridge.
This is the bridge. Now, I understand the code language there, but I just gave you insight into that. That's the bridge we had to stop at real fast and make sure we could get across it. What I want you to pay attention to here is look under the bridge and look out beyond the bridge. Do you see the grass growing? That should be that massive river and tributary flowing into the Kakhovka Reservoir. And you can see it is completely dry. Look at that. Where is it at? I lost it. Well, I'm going to show you another one. I'll show you another one. Let's do this. Right here. Here's Kakhovka Reservoir. This is not off CNN. This is straight from Zhenya's iPhone. Right here. Right there. Okay, look to the left beyond Bogdan. They're on a levee right there. And ladies and gentlemen, that should be full of water. Here's cut 2. Okay, can you see? I'm pausing the video here. Let me let the video run, then I'll pause it. Just peek. And they couldn't stand here but just for a couple of seconds to get this video. It's dangerous. Okay, look all the way in the distance, and you see the white little tower over there. So, like on the horizon in the middle of your screen, and to the right, you see a white little dot. I hope you can see that. To the left, you can see the cliff. Look at the cliff on the left, right on the horizon. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Kakhovka Reservoir. You can see the sand in it. You can see the grass growing up. I can't even begin to describe to you how much water is gone. For those of you that have traveled in the U.S. and you've been to big rivers like the Mississippi or the Missouri, maybe the James River down in Virginia, you see these big rivers, folks, it's nothing compared to that Dnipro. We're talking a massive, massive amount of water that is gone. So that's the Kakhovka. Now from Beterslav, they rolled into the areas that we work in the Kherson region on the front. Here, Zhenya dropping some supplies. That is a special battery and optic that soldier needed. It's no problem to show the pictures of these guys delivering it. How did we purchase that? You helped us purchase that. That's it. Here we have bed mats. This is our church, Bethel Life, through our nonprofit of our church. That when you guys donate money, it all goes through that. Every penny plus. There's zero admin, and we add buku's amount of money on top of it that we raise here locally through our church and local events. These are bed mats that soldiers are sleeping on. This is in the Kherson region. So that was delivered today. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, right now, 4:44 a.m., Ukrainian soldiers are sleeping on mats that you provided. So thank you very much. Additionally, no problem to show these soldiers here. This is a whole big load of aid. This is just a piece of it that we dropped. I'm going to show you some of this. Remember you guys buying tactical gloves on the Amazon list? Keep buying them. We're giving them out every week, every day. Some optics, night vision, range finders, of course, foods and supplies of that nature, medicines. So this is what's happening, and it's happening because of you guys. So thank you very much. What am I there? 12. And then there's the tactical gloves given to a Ukrainian soldier. Now I've got some video to show you from that. Here's dropping some of these supplies here. Right here.
Так, тут у нас це спальники. Ми обіцяли десь.
So we brought you sleeping bags, new fresh sleeping bags.
Так. Олег.
Okay, Oleg, here is the EcoFlow.
Від вашої компашки. Потім
This is the power bank that you specifically requested.
Отримаємо шкарпетки. віддаємо коврики.
We also brought you sleeping mats for the
Тонечка,
soldiers.
всім дівчатам від хлопців.
And
Подяка.
for the guys.
Я уважаю. Дівчата, вот такі вот золоті наші.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
За
We love
це
you.
батончики робили руками, так далі.
Energy bars that we brought you. There's the
Супи.
optics.
Це що? Це у нас теж супи, повні ці, різні. Так що подяка. І Серік, в тебе сьогодні день народження. І
This
ти
is the
сьогодні віддав
rangefinder that you requested.
колеги по
We were
церкву.
able to get it and bring it to you.
Більше не стріляйте.
Так що тобі тут з Запоріжжя приймають дальномір, ми
We
його
actually picked
передаємо,
this up in
правильно?
Zaporizhia to bring it to you.
Дякуємо. Дякуємо.
Thank you, he says. Thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna scrub back here. And it's okay. I've got permission to show these
Всім
guys'
дівчатам
faces.
від
No
хлопців.
problem.
Подяка.
Thank you. Look. How can you not love this stuff? Look at this. You know, that's not a 25-year-old man. That's a grandpa.
Я уважаю. Дівчата, вот такі вот золоті наші.
I'm gonna show that one more time. It's worth it.
Тонечка,
Folks.
всім дівчатам.
Oh, for those of you that
хлопців.
says Ukrainian's not thankful,
Подяка.
thank you.
Я уважаю. Дівчата, вот такі вот золоті наші.
За це батончики.
They're thankful, I promise you. Now we supply a lot of power banks that we all buy together. So here, when we say a lot,
Народ, віддаю, ліхтарі віддаю. Нічого
each
собі не
soldier
забираю.
gets their own personal
Вот.
power bank.
Почекай, оце теж. А це привіт, це
Some more
церква з
gloves.
Пенсильванії.
This came from Pennsylvania. Did you hear him?
Дякуємо.
Oh, you gotta get a picture now. So listen, you'll hear. I won't say nothing. You'll hear Jenya say Pennsylvania.
Народ, віддаю, ліхтарі віддаю, нічого собі не забираю. От, почекай, оце теж. А це привіт, це церква з Пенсильванії.
Hello from Pennsylvania.
Дякуємо.
Thank you, everybody. He wants to get a picture. So that's down Kherson battle area. Now let's do this. Deep Kherson. What does it look like? Right here. This is coming into Kherson. Let's stop it here. This is what it looks like, folks. So take a look there. This is the road. This is what it looks like. All this was occupied, has been liberated. Look at the sign. So the sign is supposed to say, "Welcome to the Kherson Oblast," but of course it's been blown to pieces. But that's what it looks like there. That's Deep Kherson 61. Yeah, Mark McLaren. You can see what it means to those soldiers receiving aid and stuff they need. Yes. Here is, they rolled past that sign and they rolled into a place that had been occupied. It's just a really quick clip because they were moving, but you'll see it, and I'll pause it. You'll see a building destroyed. You'll see Z's painted on the wall really quick. Okay, so I'll just scrub it back to here. So there you can see the Z. Building destroyed. Of course, they're not going to stop. It's too dangerous. And just, you keep moving. So you can see that 62 on the wall, and 54. So I want to educate you guys tonight about a name you may or may not hear. If you read a lot about Ukrainian culture and geography, you will see most, if not all, cities have a tribute to Taras Shevchenko. Shevchenko is the most famous Ukrainian poet. I was getting ready to speak Russian. Ukrainian poet in history. You know, it's kind of like a famous poet from your country. I'll start listing poets, but you get it. Very famous, very Ukrainian. So every city has like a Shevchenko Park or a Shevchenko Street. Very, very famous. Well, Zhenya, down there in a little town that had been fought over, they stumble upon a Shevchenko statue. So this is not a Soviet statue. Before I show you this is a Ukrainian statue to Ukrainian history and Ukrainian culture. basically proving that the statue's been here 100 years. It's Ukraine. But very interesting what happens here. I'll show you. Zhenya sent me this for you guys. Look at the building blown up where the battle was, and you'll see Shevchenko.
Yeah. Greg, look at this. This is Shevchenko. Our guys decided to take care of him and found a bulletproof helmet. They created it.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, for those of you wondering, okay,
Nice guys.
look what it looks like there. Look, you can go show them some more stuff. You know what?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Man, Google's doing what it wants to do there. Look how these soldiers act and behave.
Nice guys.
Nice guy. Come on, let's go inside. Let's go inside. So, for those of you wondering, that's not a real helmet that a Ukrainian soldier left there, not being thankful. No, they made it to look like a helmet and just put some camo on it. So very, very cool. Yeah, Skeg, he needs a vest as well. But you can see these guys are right there on the front. Right there on the front. You say, well, why aren't they running around in their bulletproof vests and their helmets and stuff? Well, they know the shelling rotations. So I'll explain that to you. When you see these videos and we're going in there real close, why do we feel safe? Sometimes we need to be fully geared up. Other times we know because we run with military. Well, they just shelled. We got 90 minutes. I mean, we know we have all the information and we'll have that window to get in and out with relative safety while Russia prepares to shell again at any time. But there is a logic. Desade says had a battle buddy who used to walk around with a tiny stuffed bear attached to his rifle muzzle. Yeah, you know, it's interesting, and I can tell you a lot of Ukrainian soldiers have different things like that. But for sure, Shevchenko. So for those of you watching, if you hear the name Shevchenko, it is a Ukrainian famous poet. It is not a Soviet historical figure. It is 100% Ukrainian. Now, last thing. We received a call from these two ladies from their village. We support this village. This is in the Kherson region, right on the front. They have no way to store clean water. Like, they're in the region where there's been so much shelling that their wells are becoming poisoned. The Kakhovka water is gone. So when they are able to get water, they now need the ability versus just a bucket to store them in. So what do we all do together? We went to the store. You guys, through our organization all together, and bought those jugs. Here's Zhenya coming out of a store, buying jugs to bring to these ladies.
Vesela.
There's Bogdan and Maxime. I mean, okay, let's look at this. Of course, you guys know Zhenya, but right there, the yellow shirt, a hero fighting in Bakhmut. The guy on the left, a Ukrainian who escaped Russian occupation. And they're going back to take water jugs so these ladies in the frontline villages can have clean water. It doesn't get any better than that. The world needs to know what we're doing down there. And we thank you for helping us share that. So that's where we're at, guys. I will go back now and, PZ is a savage. The problem is when we get together, we're bad for each other. We take a few too many risks sometimes, but hey, I stand with Ukraine as I know you guys do also. Now, I've got it written down here. right here. Bogdan, Bakhmut, Maxim, Berdyansk. Please make sure you've got the notifications on. Tomorrow, we were going to begin our chat and interviews with those guys. You're going to hear in English from a frontline fighter in Bakhmut, and you're going to hear in English from a guy who was under Russian occupation in Berdyansk. We're talking deep. It's right beside Mariupol. He's witnessed the horror of this war, and it's going to be awesome. So thank you guys for all you do. I'm going to go back now, check air alarms for us. I'll tell you what. So we've been streaming almost an hour, and you see what I'm telling you guys? See the drones still over Rivne? My mouse here works yellow. Over Rivne, Ternopil, Khmelnytsky, and Zhytomyr. You say, well, man, how long do those drones stay in the air? Folks, hours and hours and hours. And let me tell you what's happening right now. In cities like Rivne, 250,000, Zhytomyr, 500,000, Khmelnytsky, pushing 350,000, Ternopil, 300,000, plus all the regional cities. Millions of people are hearing air alarms. And once they get going so long, they'll run them, they'll pause them for 30, then they'll hit them again. Who can sleep in that? You say, well, they shouldn't do the air alarms. No, they have to do the air alarms. Of course they have to do the air alarms. Who can sleep in that? Is it that loud? It's that loud. So this is the torture, that is nonstop. And those shaheeds, they can fly around for hours and hours. They can slow down to almost 60 kilometers per hour, be a few feet off the ground, 30, 40 feet off the ground. And you can hear them. It's a unique sensation, let me tell you that. And Zaporizhia, Donetsk, and Dnipropetrovsk, which is Dnipro. So there we at it, folks. Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you guys. That is the update for tonight, day number 541. As soon as we get the interview out, it could be tomorrow. This may not be for Monday. It may be Sunday. I don't know. But we're doing our best to get them up right now. And the plan is to do that tomorrow. So we'll see. Make sure you're subscribed, notifications on. You guys be blessed. Thank you for all that you do. Couldn't do it without you, but I think together we make a really good team. Be blessed. We'll see you very soon, if not before.